What's up guys, and welcome to the Scarge channel. I have another vertical jump workout for you today, but for the focus of this video today, I really wanted to talk about progress. I was just thinking earlier, I just feel like I haven't made a whole lot of progress in my vertical jump over the years. It was at my peak about 2 years ago. It was about 41 or so, and I'm right around 38 now, starting to finally focus on it. But it got me thinking back to when I first started my fitness journey, which was about 10 years ago, honestly. So it was about 2013 when I really started taking it seriously. So in middle school, 6th grade, I played sports, but I wasn't really focused on all the working out stuff. 7th grade, my mom got me this game on my Wii, and it was kind of like P90X, but it was like 25-minute workouts. They were just non-stop, basically kind of like a cardio and weight. It's very similar to P90X, and I would just do a ton of those every day, and that's what I was doing to get in shape at the time. And I didn't really even think about doing any weights or anything like that because no one I knew was doing them, so it just never really occurred to me. And then I do that. I play flag football that year on the 7th grade team, have a blast doing that, and then we move on to 8th grade, which is when I really started getting serious about track. So at the time I was running the mile. That was my main focus. It was one of my main focuses anyways. I'd say that running the mile, the long jump, the high jump, and just jumping high in general for basketball was my main focuses 8th grade year. And I remember my mom for Christmas got me a stationary bike, and it was the coolest thing ever. I mean, at the time we got it at Sears, I remember. Never forget, it was such a cool stationary bike. You could set the resistance to a certain amount. You can like set it so you're traveling places. It felt like you're traveling places. Coolest thing ever. So I get that in 8th grade around winter for Christmas. Track season's coming up, and I am just killing myself on that bike. This is what I would do basically every day. I'd do it for 24 minutes. I'd set it to the highest resistance. I put on an episode of Victorious because that was just the vibe back then. It was a good show, still is a good show. I put on that, and I would just go as hard as I can for 24 minutes, and every single time I'd just try to go further and further. And that's what really got my mile time down to, one of the top in the area, I guess. Nothing huge or anything, but I wanted that sub 5-minute mile. And when it came to the final meet of the season, the big closing meet, I got first, which is awesome, but I got 5:11, but I was really happy with myself. It was one of my greatest achievements, definitely at the time, I felt. So that's what I was focusing on 8th grade. That was my fitness, is just running, jumping. After school, I remember with my friends, we would just we'd be playing basketball, and then after you're all warmed up, so you go and try to touch backboard, touch rim, all that stuff, grab rim at the time in 8th grade. But I remember after school it'd be me and my friend, one of my friends, and there was a girl that was hanging out with us after school, and we would just try to touch backboard, touch rim, and we thought we were frickin' grizzly bears when we touched rim and touched backboard in front of her. We thought we were the coolest guys ever. And that's kind of how it was in middle school. I mean, if you ran the fastest, if you jumped, if you're the most athletic, that's kind of just, that's what you strove for back then. So anyways, that was the focus in middle school, running, jumping, not really doing any weights. But freshman year, I think that's when I really started on the weights. I did football the summer before freshman year. I didn't do it, but then I tried out for basketball that winter. Tryouts were going well. All the exercise stuff was going well anyways. The running came in first for all that. But I was super timid as a basketball player, so I ended up getting cut even though I had some decent skills. I was probably, but anyways, got cut, was devastated. Was, still lifting weights at the time, but nothing crazy. Did golf that year, and then came back the next year. This whole time, my whole life basically, I played baseball, but that freshman year I didn't play, and I really missed it sophomore year, so I came back to that sophomore year, and that's when I really started hitting the weights a little bit more seriously. I think that year was the year me and my friends started the weightlifting club. So at lunch, a bunch of guys, whoever would come in the weight room, supervised of course, and we would just lift weights for 30-45 minutes. It was awesome. And then after school, I'd either walk to the gym, or my mom would drop me off, or however, we were getting it in. That's all that matters. And at that time too, you kind of just walked to the gym, hung out there for a few hours, you kind of just figured it out. And it's like, I wasn't an expert or anything at the time. I was watching all the fitness YouTubers, the OG ones like Pump Chasers, Christian Guzman, Max Tuning, all those guys. So I was learning quite a bit, but I was still figuring things out. Still, quarter squatting 405 and thinking that I was hitting depth, thinking I was him, but I was really doing, no range of motion at all. And I remember that sophomore year was the first time I hit 205 on bench. I was super excited about that. I have a video of that, that's why I remember it. And yeah, and then sophomore year ended, went on to junior year, and that's when I really started to put on a little bit more weight. So one thing that you have to realize is, if you just work out starting middle school and you're consistent with it going into high school, you're naturally just going to put on a ton of muscle fast. Like for me, I came into 8th grade, I was 129, 130, freshman year 140, sophomore year 160, junior year 180, and then senior year I was around 195 the whole year. I'm 195 now, but it's nowhere near. I was probably a little bit more soft back then, but yeah, that was a little bit about my fitness journey. Obviously now I'm in college and I'm posting these videos so you can see how much progress I made, and sometimes it's just good to look back and really appreciate how far you've come. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.